There are other new players in the media landscape as well, like super PACs. Did you know that Sheldon Adelson spent $100 million of his own money last year on negative ads? You've got to really dislike me to spend that kind of money. I mean, that's Oprah money. You could buy an island and call it Nobama for that kind of money. Sheldon would have been better off offering me $100 million to drop out of the race. I probably wouldn't have taken it. But I'd have thought about it. Michelle would have taken it. You think I'm joking? I know Republicans are still sorting out what happened in 2012. But one thing they all agree on is they need to do a better job reaching out to minorities. And look, call me self-centered, but I can think of one minority they could. Start with. Hello. Think of me as a trial run, you know? See how it goes. If they won't come to me, I will come to them. Recently, I had dinner. It's been well publicized. I had dinner with a number of the Republican senators. And I'll admit it wasn't easy. I proposed a toast. It died in committee. Of course, even after I've done all this, some folks still don't think I spend enough time with Congress. Why don't you get a drink with Mitch McConnell, they ask. Really? Why don't? You get a drink with Mitch McConnell? I'm sorry. I get frustrated sometimes. I am not giving up. In fact, I'm taking my charm offensive on the road, a Texas barbecue with Ted Cruz. a Kentucky bluegrass concert with Rand Paul, and a book burning with Michelle Bachmann. My charm offensive has helped me learn some interesting things about what's going on in Congress. It turns out, absolutely nothing. But the point of my charm offensive is simple: we need to make progress on some important issues. Take the sequester. Republicans fell in love with this thing, and now they can't stop talking about how much they hate it. It's like we're trapped in a Taylor Swift album. One senator who has reached across the aisle recently is Marco Rubio, but I don't know about 2016. I mean, the guy has not even finished a single term in the Senate and he thinks he's ready to be president. Kids these days. I, on the other hand, have run my last campaign. On Thursday, as Ed mentioned, I went to the opening of the Bush Presidential Library in Dallas. It was a wonderful event, and that inspired me to get started on my own legacy. Which will actually begin by building another edifice right next to the Bush Library. Can we show that, please? I'm also hard at work on plans for the Obama Library. And some have suggested that we put it in my birthplace, but I'd rather keep it in the United States. Did anybody not see that joke coming? Show of hands. Only Gallup? Maybe Dick Morris? Now, speaking of presidents and their legacies, I want to acknowledge a wonderful friend. Steven Spielberg, and Daniel Day-Lewis, who are here tonight. We had a screening of their most recent film, Lincoln, which was an extraordinary film. I am a little nervous, though, about Stephen's next project. I saw a behind-the-scenes look on HBO. Well, let's just check it out. Roll the tape. Tape rolls. It's a remarkable transformation. Do I really sound like that, though, honey? Groucho Marx once said, and, Senator Cruz, that's Groucho Marx, not Carl. That's the other guy. Groucho Marx once told an audience, before I speak, I have something important to say. And along those same lines, I want to close on a more serious note. Obviously, there has been no shortage of news to cover over these past few weeks. And these have been some very hard days for too many of our citizens. Even as we gather here tonight, our thoughts are not far from the people of Boston and the people of West Texas. There are families in the Midwest who are coping with some terrible floods. So we've had some difficult days. But even when the days seem darkest, we have seen humanity shine at its brightest. We've seen first responders, and National Guardsmen who have dashed into danger, law enforcement officers who lived their oath to serve and to protect. And everyday Americans who are opening their homes and their hearts to perfect strangers. And we also saw journalists at their best, especially those who took the time to wade upstream. Through the torrent of digital rumors to chase down leads and verify facts and painstakingly put the pieces together to inform. And to educate, and to tell stories that demanded to be told. If anyone wonders, for example, whether newspapers are a thing of the past. All you needed to do was to pick up or log on to papers like the Boston Globe. When their communities and the wider world needed them most. They were there making sense of events that might at first blush seem beyond our comprehension. And that's what great journalism is, and that's what great journalists do. And that's why, for example, Pete Williams' new nickname around the NBC newsroom is Big Papi. And in these past few weeks, as I've gotten a chance to meet many of the first responders and the police, officers and volunteers who race to help when hardship hits, I was reminded, as I'm always reminded when I meet our men and women in uniform. Whether they're in war theater, or here back home. Or at Walter Reed in Bethesda, I'm reminded that all these folks, they don't do it to be honored, they don't do it to be celebrated. They do it because they love their families and they love their neighborhoods and they love their country. And so, these men and women should inspire all of us in this room to live up to those same standards. To be worthy of their trust, to do our jobs with the same fidelity. And the same integrity, and the same sense of purpose, and the same love of country. Because if we're only focused on profits or ratings or polls, then we're contributing to the cynicism that so many people feel right now. And so, those of us in this room tonight, we are incredibly lucky. And the fact is, we can do better, all of us. Those of us in public office, those of us in the press, those who produce entertainment for our kids. Those with power, those with influence, all of us, including myself. We can strive to value those things that I suspect led most of us to do the work that we do in the first place because we believed in something that was true, and we believed in service. And the idea that we can have a lasting, positive impact on the lives of the people around us. And that's our obligation. That's a task we should gladly embrace on behalf of all of those folks who are counting on us. On behalf of this country that's given us so much. So thank you all, to the White House correspondents, for the great work you do. God bless you all. May God bless the United States of America. Barack Obama. White House Correspondents' Dinner Address. Delivered May 3, 2014, Washington, D. C. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Please have a seat. Have a seat. Before I get started, can we get the new presidential setup out here? It's worked before. That's more like it. It is great to be back. What a year, huh? I usually start these dinners with a few self-deprecating jokes. After my stellar 2013, what could I possibly talk about? I admit it, last year was rough. Sheesh. At one point things got so bad, the 47% called Mitt Romney to apologize. Of course, we rolled out healthcare. Gov. That could have gone better. In 2008 my slogan was, "Yes we can." In 2013 my slogan was, Control-Alt-Delete. On the plus side, they did turn the launch of healthcare. Gov into one of the year's biggest movies. But rather than dwell on the past, I would like to pivot to this dinner. Let's welcome our headliner this evening, Joel McHale. On Community, Joel plays a preening. Self-obsessed narcissist. So this dinner must be a real change of pace for you. I want to thank the White House Correspondents Association for hosting us here tonight. I am happy to be here, even though I am a little jet-lagged from my trip to Malaysia. The lengths we have to go to get CNN coverage these days. I think they're still searching for their table. MSNBC is here. They're a little overwhelmed. They've never seen an audience this big before. But, look, everybody is trying to keep up with this incredibly fast-changing media landscape. For example, I got a lot of grief on cable news for promoting Obamacare to young people on Between Two Ferns. But that's what young people like to watch. And to be fair, I am not the first person on television between two potted plants.